Hey there, Jack Peach here from Dynastic Dating, and I'm sharing with you a really important, hard-earned lesson from my life today. You see, when my wife and I first started dating, we, like any couple, had problems. We would get into arguments, she would get into her moods, and I, without fail, would respond with logic. And needless to say, this wasn't particularly effective. Her moods would get worse, our arguments would get more heated, and conflicts would never get resolved. It wasn't until I discovered the work of David Dider that I actually realized that men and women communicate differently. And this was a revelation for me and completely transformed my relationship with my wife. So using these experiences, plus things that I've learned from other sources as well, I've developed a formula for being able to communicate effectively with women. And I call this emotional communication, my 8-step framework for connecting with, building intimacy, and getting into a relationship with women. And that's what I want to share with you today. I want to share with you this framework so your interactions with women will get better, smoother, and more enjoyable. Now, before we really get into the nitty-gritty of this, we have to understand that women think, feel, and experience life more with their emotions than men do. Whereas men, we tend to be a bit more rational, a bit more logical in the way that we go through life. And what this means is that we have to make her feel things, hence the name of the framework, emotional communication. And step 1 of being able to emotionally communicate is to be interested, not interesting. Now, this is really important because when we're being interesting, we're saying that she is the prize. We're putting her on a pedestal. We are surrendering control of the frame and it makes us look needy. Now, this is really bad because it creates the wrong dynamic for a good sexualized interaction with women. Women want men who are confident, and we need to be able to sub-communicate that confidence. And one way we can do that is by being interested in her. When we are being interested in her, we are saying that we are the prize and that she has to impress us. We are staying in control of the frame, and we're saying that we're trying to figure out if you are good enough for us, not the other way around. And that is really, really important for maintaining a healthy dynamic. What's more, as you go through a relationship, into marriage, whatever stage of the relationship you're at, when you're interested in your wife, you're telling her that she is important to you, that you care about her, and that you want to make her feel special. And this is really important, especially as if you do commit to someone, they should be pretty special to you. Now, stage 2 for my framework for emotional communication is to make the moment special. This is really important because when we devote our sole attention to the moment, we're going to instinctively express whatever we're feeling at that time. That's because our emotions are how we live life from moment to moment. So if we're directly focused on it, that's what we're going to express, our emotional state. So instead of overthinking, instead of worrying about how we're going to be perceived, instead of figuring out what we're going to say next, you will be more instinctive. You will be able to always say the right thing as a result, and you're not going to be worried about her perception of you. This is going to lead you to simply be. You're going to be yourself, you're going to express yourself in a way that's natural to you, and therefore you're going to connect and build intimacy with the kinds of women that you're going to have a good connection with. And when you're in a relationship, this means she's going to feel like she really knows the real you, and your love and your intimacy is going to build as a result. Now, step 3 on my framework for emotional communication is to ask deeper questions. Now, this was really brought to my attention recently when one of my clients asked his girlfriend, "How was your day?" She replied, "Fine," and then he left it at that. And they got into a really big argument, and as I explained to him, it's because he didn't indicate his investment and his interest in her, and through that, told her that he didn't have a huge amount of investment in their relationship, and that made her feel unloved and unsecure. It really reduced the comfort attractions between them. Now, this can be a problem, but it also can be a problem on dates. For example, a lot of guys will ask questions like, how was your day? Where do you work? What do you do for a living? And these can be okay if you have a genuine interest in her answers and she can feel that and you give her space to express it through some of the other principles. But it's much better to ask deeper questions. You can ask things like, what made you decide to choose that line of work? Why did you move here when you moved away from home? What is it that you like so much about living here? And in doing that, you're going to uncover her deeper feelings, her deeper thoughts, and the way that she really feels about the world. And not only are you going to indicate that or find out that, she's going to feel your investment, your interest, and the level of her investment is going to raise as a result. Now, step 4 on my framework for emotional communication is to emotionally listen. Now, most people have heard of active listening, and that's a great tool as well, but emotional listening is much more powerful when it comes to connecting with women because it makes her feel things. It makes you reflect back what she's feeling so she feels more connected to you as you guys enter into this feedback loop of mirroring each other. And mirroring in general is a really important way to build trust with people. Now, how do you do this? Well, you want to express whatever you're feeling when she's talking through things like your body language, through physical touch, through your facial expressions. And that's going to make you appear much more engaged and much more connected to her emotions. Before you do this, you're going to appear bored. You're going to appear disconnected from the conversation, and you're going to appear unnatural, and your reactions will be forced as a result. When you practice emotional listening, you're going to appear more engaged. You're going to appear interested in what she's got to say, and you're going to be naturally connected to her in a way that builds intimacy and builds a connection that you otherwise will struggle to get. Now, you might have noticed these aren't kind of traditional pickup artist techniques I'm teaching you here. And that's because the goal of my coaching is different from the goal of their coaching. They want to get you laid. I want to help you get into a relationship. And we have different goals, so different strategies, different tactics as a result. Now, you may also have noticed that I've only given 4 of the 8 techniques in this video. And that's because part 2 will be coming out probably in about a week or so keep an eye out for that. But if you can't wait, please download my free guide to approaching women. This will help you connect with more women, get more dates, get into a relationship, and you'll also receive a 2-hour-long video training course on improving with women alongside that. I'll put the link in the description box below. Finally, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe on this video, it helps me spread the message to more people who need to hear it and improve their relationships too. And if you could do me that small favor, I'd really appreciate it. But for now, I want to say, Jack out.